Hello, it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with you, it might not. All right, so I've got a card here. It says, "What would you do if I came near you?" And I really feel that somebody here is thinking about that heavily. They are wanting to approach you. And I think they're thinking a lot about their approach because they're unsure about how you would feel about that and what your response would be. And I think that is because this person sabotaged something between the two of you in the past. And I've got a card here. It says, "Sabotage. I mess up the good things in my life sometimes." And I think this person feels like you are a really good thing. It could be that this person is seeing you move on and have some kind of new chapter, and this person wants a new chapter with you. But I'm also hearing like, I just have some things to say. I have some things that I want to get off my chest. And I think that is true because it could be that some things were like not revealed or certain things were left unsaid. And it could have been emotional things or like things that this person had an illusion about in their mind. Could have to do with you, could have to do with, other people. But this person is really wanting to say that. I feel like they're very sorry about the way that they treated you. They know that it was out of pocket. They know that there were like secrets here or illusions or like some kind of unhealthy cycle. So for some of you, this person did this like more than once. It was on some kind of like repeat cycle, and they don't know how to make you see that or how to make you trust them again. And that does feel karmic to me. That does feel like a genuine repercussion to their actions, or again, like some type of secretive karmic cycle. So they are actually wanting some kind of a new chapter between the two of you. For some of you though, I feel like this person has gotten themselves into a bit of a pickle, and this seems to be something that's going on in addition to whatever has gone on with you. So it could be that this person actually wants to reach out because maybe you've always been a support or you've always been a safe place for this person. And I'm seeing the 6 of Swords in my mind, which is kind of boat energy. It's like trying to leave behind troubled waters. But a lot of times for me, that is the functioning dysfunction card. And that could have been a part of the cycle. And that could be a part of the way that this person kind of sabotages. I'm hearing go with the flow or kind of go along with the crowd. This person could have done that. And this card that I'm looking at, it looks like somebody is wanting to return. They're wanting to come back. It also looks to me like you were drowning, like they left you drowning. And so now this person's wanting to come back, and they're kind of, I do think there's maybe been some kind of shocking realization about like that they left you behind or that they did what they were doing, because it does feel kind of in a haze or like a stupor or something. And so they're wanting to come back and like throw you a life preserver. And it has to do with something that this person feels like they want to say, or like something that they feel like they want to say. And then I've got a card here. It says oath, but it says, "We aim for the same target, but fear keeps us from fully committing. Our union needs clarity, not hesitation." So that could be between you, like your union needs clarity and not hesitation. But this person does seem like they're a fence sitter, like they just kind of sit on the fence because they're nervous and because they're anxious. And I think they know that their behavior has been bad. So it feels like somebody here is wanting to, I just heard reclaim a cycle with you, but they're also wanting to end some kind of karmic cycle with you. But before they can do that, I feel like they've got to end some kind of karmic cycle within themselves. And it feels emotional with the moon energy. So it could have to do with family, but it could have to do with their emotions. There could be some emotional dysregulation and emotional instability here that this person is learning how to navigate in a healthier way. It also could be that this person pulls on externals whenever they feel emotionally dysregulated. That could be that going along with the crowd energy, and that could be like they go along with the crowd that pulls them away from you because it's a distraction. And as long as this person is feeling distracted, they feel happy and they don't have to let their mind settle and kind of think about what it is that they've done. But it feels like there's a cycle here this person wants to end with you. But in order to end that, they've got to end a cycle that is internal. But in order to, that is flared up right now. And I think it's to do with another cycle that they have either with a group of people or somebody else. And I think they would like your help with that. And they formed that cycle, and it feels like it's moon energy. So it could have to do with family, either family of origin or family that they've built. So now they're having like, I think karmic repercussion in some way. Something is like coming apart at the seams. And again, they're showing me the 9 of Swords. they're unsure of what to do. But I feel like something here is like it's really flared up. And I think I said that at the beginning of this reading, that something here may have actually reached some kind of crescendo or a fever pitch, because you're on this person's mind heavily. And I think for a lot of you, this may even be a clarifying experience for this person. Probably like you don't want to hear this, because I think that might have been part of the reason why you moved away from this person, is because, yeah, you are pretty consistently there for this person. You are a reliable person, but that gets you treated like shit for some of you, because this person will only come back when they need something. And I think this person is recognizing that they need something, because like I said, I think for a lot of you, this person's got themselves in a bit of a pickle. They seem to be going through like a dark night of the soul, and they're wanting a new chapter. And I think for themselves, like overall in their life, they want some kind of new chapter. And I think for a lot of these people, they're thinking about reaching out to you because they kind of don't trust themselves, and they feel like they sabotage the good things in their life. They don't really want to run away, but all they want to do is run away. I just heard it feels like they just want to peel their skin off, kind of a thing. And so they are feeling alone, and they're feeling really unsure, and they're feeling on shaky ground, and they're feeling very emotionally dysregulated. And they think about you. They think about kind of coming near you. But now I think that's part of the pickle that they've gotten themselves in, is they've caused so much damage here. And I think it's because they tried to just like start a new beginning, or they didn't clear something up here. And now maybe they see that you're trying to move on. So this does feel like kind of a karmic pileup in terms of, actions here. Their actions have like really caught up with this person and put them in this kind of like pickle. But I do feel that this person is like creeping on you in some way, because they're trying to see how it is that you might feel. And so they could be using things like the tarot. They definitely are probably looking at your social media, because they're trying to see with this sun energy. They're trying to see clearly. They're trying to illuminate your moon space. So they might be trying to figure out like what's going on in your home and what's going on with your family for some, because I get this sense for a lot of you, it's like you are the life preserver for this person. And maybe they're kind of thinking, maybe I could go live with you, or maybe, I don't know. They're wondering about maybe your home situation or like your family situation, but they're also, that might not be for everybody, so only take what resonates, but they're definitely wondering about your emotions and like your inner world. They're unsure about your feelings and how you're going to feel about them, because this person just left things. And I think they're wondering if you've forgiven them just of your own accord. And I think that a lot of you are moving on to some kind of new chapter, because you've recognized that something here is just a functioning dysfunction. And I think that you've given yourself some kind of peace, and you may have made some like amends and some forgiveness with this person, but I don't think that it's the kind of forgiveness. I think that you're wary about this person, like physically making contact or coming back into your life, because I've got a card here that says zombie and danger approaching. And it's these two giant zombie hands like clawing their way out of a zombie grave. And it says a sense of foreboding fills the air and weighs on your mind. A lurking menace stalks you and keeps you alert. And then it also says like puppet here is the other card that I've got. Trapped in a cycle of consumption and never satisfied. Shallow satisfaction from consumerism. Monetary chains hold you back from true happiness. You might wonder if there's some kind of like money issue. If this person's coming back because they need something like monetarily, you just have a sense of foreboding, like about this like puppet energy. Like maybe some of you could have felt like a puppet on a string to this person, or like, are they somebody else's puppet, or like what's actually going on here? But I think you feel this like sense of foreboding because of like, yeah, a social mask. I think for some of you feel like this person is wearing a social mask, and that's funny because it aligns with them. This person thinks a lot about their approach, okay, because they wonder how you would take it if they approached you. But I think this person has actually like gone over in their mind, or they keep going over in their mind. This is this like 9 of Swords energy. They keep going over like the different methods that they could approach you. Like, okay, well, what if you saw my face again first? So what if I approached you like physically in a physical environment of some kind? How would it be for you to like see my face? Like, would that help, or would that, hinder? Would it make you nervous? Okay, well, what about if you heard my voice? So should I call on the phone? Well, what if you saw my name pop up on your phone? Well, if you've got me blocked on your phone, what if I try to text you from somebody else's number? What if I reach out on social media? They're trying to kind of see how something here would make you potentially feel, and like how they could how they could kind of softball their energy towards you. And I think, again, this feels like such a fever pitch of like their karmic actions just all piling up, because I think for some of you, you feel this person wears a social mask. And yeah, wearing a mask to hide their true emotions and avoid vulnerability, offering surface smiles to hide deeper pain. And yeah, also speculation is under that. So, overestimating potential returns, underestimating risks. I think you felt that you did that with this person in the past. So when you're speculating on this person's face and their tone of voice and what it is that they're saying and everything seems kind of nice, I don't think you trust it, not even for a moment in time. I think you're like, why are you before me? Why are you in front of me? Because in the past, you overestimated the potential return of this connection and of pouring into this connection. And then you underestimated the risks. And I think that you've been bitten here. And I just don't think that you have forgotten that. I think that your brain, that like primate part of your brain that, knows, they say that primates, anything kind of registers as a snake. That's why a lot of times when you see like a shoestring on the floor or a rope in your garage or something, sometimes it'll just look like a snake because we're used to, snakes is like the thing that we are really, really able to identify, and we overreact to it because it has been such a danger to us in the past when we were like growing up in the wild. And I feel like this person has that same kind of imprint on your psyche because of the way, I just felt tears so much. The way in which you were betrayed, the way in which there was a secret, the cyclical nature, the repetitive nature for some of you of this, or the emotional nature of what was hidden in the depth of that hurt that you were just like allowed to carry or something here. Some of you felt exploited. Yeah, others having power over you due to what they know, suffering from exploitative labor practices. Maybe this person is going to say that to you. Maybe, and on this card, it's a shark and it looks like it has glasses on. I mean, it's like a shark that's kind of looks, like in Dory, that shark is like, fish are friends, not food. And they kind of look very friendly, but it's a shark still. And the shark wants to eat the fish. And so everybody's kind of afraid of the shark here. So I kind of think that your brain registers this person that way, where it's like, you are still a shark to me. But I can see because with the glasses, it's like, okay, well, I've seen things differently, or I've seen things clearer, or I've seen things in more detail, or I've read a book or two about this or something. And this person's like desperate to be kind of understood, and they want this like new beginning. But you are, and they're wondering, part of them wonders if it would be like a happy surprise for you, or maybe they're thinking about sending you a present, or they're thinking about sending you some kind of surprise. Surprises that spark introspection and lead to emotional breakthroughs. Unseen moments of joy that challenge your perception of what truly matters. Unexpected joys reveal hidden depths and profound connections. I think this person has had some level of awareness, but I think some of you don't know whether you can, because something goes around with this person. And this person always comes back, but it's about them. And it's still about them. Like in this moment, it's still about them. They're stuck. They're in a pickle. They need help. And that's why they're thinking about you. And that's why they're kind of realizing like what really matters. And I think some of you are like, when you are living the high life and you're at the high moment, and that's when you think of me. And that's when you're like, I have everything to give you, and I only want to give it to you. I only want to reach out to you. You are the person that I want to smile with and laugh with. I can't do it with other people. That's different. That would be the change that you need to see. But right now, this person's in the pits. They're kind of going through it. And I think that you needed this person to pour into this connection when it wasn't selfish. And I think this person is thinking that they want to give to you, and that they want it to be reciprocal, and that they have learned certain things. And I do think that that is to a certain extent genuine, but I don't know if it's sustainable. And I think that's your energy too. You don't know if it's sustainable. And this person's kind of thinking about that. They're thinking about, there is something here too, like with this, because there's something here about like wanting to come across different, wanting to come across unique. And I think for some of you that this person is like, how can I come across different in the past? All of this seems kind of schemy. It seems kind of strategic. And that's kind of the position that this person's put them in. That's why I'm saying there is a lot of like karmic repercussion that is here, just of like this person's position on the field. It's very karmic, and it is the result and the sum total of this person's decisions that they have made, and them trying to run away from their emotions by distracting themselves or not clearing things up with you and possibly other people, not building connections and repairing connections where they feel safe and where they feel on solid ground, and making sure those people are treated well. I think for a lot of you, there is that here. So they are thinking about how can I come across like I've changed, you know? And maybe there is some authenticity here. I don't think this is entirely a bag of garbage. And I think maybe for some of you, that's your problem with this person is you find them to be very convincing and you don't want them to hurt. I think a lot of you are a softie. You know, you don't want them to hurt. You want to support people when they're down. But I think I just heard the song Down Bad. Now I'm down bad crying at the gym, you know? And so I think for a lot of you, you always feel left out in the cold by this person when you're down bad crying at the gym. And for some of you, this person put you in a position where you were down bad crying at the gym. Like it was because of them, you know, and something that they did to you. And it's like, okay, so it's fuck me whenever I'm down bad crying at the gym, but it's let me help you. And this is when we repair our relationship. When you're down bad, see how one of us has empathy and the other one seems to be selfish? Like it's a giant question mark for you. I just heard you say that. It's a giant question mark for me. It's a giant, giant question mark for me. I just saw the Riddler in my mind too, like how he has that suit that is like question marks. So I think that's also this person thinking, what should I wear? Should I wear a suit? You know, should I present myself like professionally or, you know, like if you wear a suit, it's like, okay, well, I want to come across like really, really well, but, or should I dress like casual? This person is really thinking about like, well, how do I come across? And I feel like tears kind of pricking behind my eyes, but I just think that there's enough time has gone by. There's been cycles. There's been things that were hidden. The variables here, I feel like you're even crying because you would love to trust this person. You would love to be able to go with the flow with this person. You would love to be able to take them at face value, but there's something here where it's like what you would have seen as neutral in the past, like you just kind of don't see it that way. Anyways, getting back to what I was trying to say here is that I think this person is thinking a lot about how to come across unique. They might be thinking like, how can I make this approach, you know, make an impression on you. It could also be that they feel that you have options now because you seem to be in this like new chapter energy where you've given yourself permission to leave, I just heard. And things seem like kind of happy here. So it could be that you have a lot of options and this person's like, how can I come across unique? How can I come off different? You know, how can I be worthy of like your time and show you that I am worthy of your time? How can I come across different than I was before? But there's another part of this person where they want to come across maybe traditional or like the same maybe as everybody else. And this person could be afraid of like being laughed at. For some of you, I think this is part of the problem that's going on in the background is that this person is different than some of the people that they're around. For some of you, I just heard they realize that they're wrong and they have to break with some kind of either tradition. I did just hear the word culture. There's a culture in this group. And I think it's a part of what was hidden. So you might already know, like what this person is wanting to tell you, you might already know. But I think maybe for some of you, there's a pride issue because they have to say, I was wrong. And that thing that you were trying to warn me about, it bit me in the ass, you know, and maybe they don't want to be laughed at. And I don't think that you would laugh at this person. I don't think that you're sadistic like that. I think that this person might think that you are it's unpredictable, like how you would respond. And I think it's only unpredictable because in the past, I think it was very predictable. And I think this person effed you around because I think it was predictable that you would have been soft and receptive and welcoming. And a lot of you have done that. Like you've opened up, I just heard like or you would have your home, your heart, your bank account, whatever this person would have needed because you believe in people. But it's also like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And I think some of you feel like fool me twice, shame on me has already happened between the two of us, you know, regarding the situation. And I don't want to get involved, you know, who sent you kind of a thing. Like, so you being this person's life raft is off the table, but it's not because of who you are. This person does know that. Like they know that you are a sweetheart or like you're a tender person. And so I think that's part of it is like they don't know how you would respond because now you just don't look at them the same. They destroyed the trust. And I think Spirit is going, look, this is what it means to destroy a trust between you and another human being that is a good person, that is a caring person. This is, you could choose to build community. You could choose to build relationships and bonds with good people. That is a choice you could make. You can choose to build bonds with shitty people and don't be surprised and don't come crying when they're shitty to you, right? So I think this person's found themselves in that situation where now the snake has turned around and like bit them. There could be something like, I just heard shame, but there's maybe like a bit of irony that's like kind of going on in this situation. So they feel like you're unpredictable. And I think for some, they feel like maybe you would laugh at them, but this is kind of like, because they kind of feel, this is this person's shame talking, but they feel like they know they deserve something here. They feel like because of the way that they treated you, or just overlooked, like when you were like, hey, I'm suffering, I'm getting abused here, or stop abusing me, like, or whatever this was, like, hey, I need help. This person, they know they laughed at you, or they sat by while other people did. And so they're kind of feeling like spirit is kind of giving the ball in your court where you have an opportunity to be that way. And for some of you might kind of just laugh it off of like, but it would be more like the absolute audacity of you to like show up here after everything you've done enough kind of a thing, you know? And I think you genuinely are sorry that this person is suffering. And I think that you would have loved to be an ally to this person and to help them through, but it's so one-sided. It's been so one-sided is kind of what I'm getting. And I also think that part of this person's sabotaging, I'm hearing from NF, it's an NF song. It's like, I just need some time. I'm trying to think straight. I just need a moment in my own space. Ask me how I'm doing. I'm saying, okay. But ain't that what we all say? Like this person is feeling kind of like sad, you know? And I think this person is like, well, I just need a moment. Like I just need some time in my own space. I'm trying to think straight. I'm trying to like iron out all this anxiety, but then they just literally never ever take any action because they're always trying to think straight. They always just need a little more time. And they always just leave you hanging and other people hanging. But they do it by telling themselves, oh, I'm going to get back around to it. They just never do because it's just, there's the obstacle that they have to overcome inside of themselves, possibly feeling emotionally dysregulated, possibly taking some type of risk, making themselves like vulnerable in the situation. They just never feel up to doing it. It's like Moana having to get over that like lip, you know, like when she's getting off her island, there's like the lip between the island and the rest of the ocean. And you have to have like a big enough boat, you know, and also you got to fall on your ass a few times and kind of take some risks in order to get over that lip, you know, and it's like this person just kind of never does. But I also think there is kind of like a sadness here. Like this person wants to be able to tell you that there's a sadness and there's a depression and that they're in a dark space and that they got themselves in a situation that they're, I think, outnumbered and overwhelmed but it's because they were sailing away from you. Again, with the Six of Swords and the boat energy, I'm getting that this person was like sailing away from you, thinking that they're just it's just kind of avoidance. And for some, this person could have ghosted you, or they hid, or they I think they do feel guilty, but they I don't know. They think that they're conflicted about how to solve, like this was in the past. I feel like this person felt conflicted, but it was because they didn't know how you're feeling. I don't really go for that energy personally. I think we have to overcome that in ourselves as human beings. That's having a healthy yang energy, which is masculine energy, regardless of your gender, is not being reactive. So this is kind of a reactive person where they're like, if you initiate something, then I'll do it. Okay. Instead of I fucked something up, I will initiate the healing. If I get laughed at or not, I will do that because it is the right thing to do. And I am in charge of my behavior, and my behavior will not be dependent on what others around me are doing. So I think this person is just giving kind of like follower energy, but they're a follower too because they need to strengthen their own inner compass and their own inner self. This is somebody who very much will just get kind of swept away. And I think that there was some type of unexpected surprise, and this person maybe thought it was a lifesaver for them. It may have to do with an oath, like some type of marriage. So they could have thought that it was a gift or it was a blessing, but it was actually some type of exploitative dynamic. Yeah, and now they're in a situation where there's no exit. They're trapped in a situation with no exit or escape, experiences a perpetual return to the same situations, trapped in an infinite loop with no escape, engages in a Sisyphean task that never ends. So it's like, I keep trying to make it better, but it's not better. And I think some of you could have, especially if this is family, like you could have said like, yeah, you know, and you're not trying to make this person suffer. But I think that there's cycle upon cycle upon cycle here, because again, like I was saying in the beginning, I think that there's a cycle that plays out between the two of you, which is why you are very reluctant to get involved with this person, because they're a betrayer. This is a nice betrayer, but a betrayer nonetheless. And you don't want to get yourself and your sensitive bits and any kids that you might have around somebody who is unstable. And this is the kind of person who they partner with the bully. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a person who lets bullies be around. They don't stand up for them. So it's risk by proxy. This is a person who invites the predator to the party. And then when somebody gets victimized, they're like, oh, I didn't realize that so-and-so, but they did. And or they should have, you know, how like in court documents, it's like you either knew or you reasonably should have known. Like, this is a person who reasonably should have known that Jared is a bad apple and needs to be like removed from the people that he harms. Like that's kind of like the energy that I'm getting. But yeah, I mean, I think that this person, the cycles is what I was saying. So that's the cycle with you. Like you're hesitant to get back into that cycle. This person perpetuates that cycle because of an inner cycle of emotional dysregulation where they can't stand on their own 2 feet. And so they become codependent and they become reliable on anybody that will be around. And unfortunately for this person, people who suck and who healthy people will push away are always desperate for somebody. And so they'll build what seems like a strong bond because it's like, oh yeah, I would never let go of you. And I'll co-sign every bullshit thing that you do. And that'll feel like intimacy to this person because they just feel so codependent and they really just don't want somebody who's going to move away. But then they'll get involved in a bunch of crap. And then that's going to flare up because I think this is a person with empathy. So it'll flare up their emotional dysregulation. So how do you break that cycle? You have to move away from people who do fucked up shit, right? Because this is somebody who feels shame and they may well get around narcissists that don't. And I think, again, so then from that place, they've built a karmic cycle with somebody else or with, it looks like maybe a group of people. It seems to have to do with family. And there's an illusion around this, but this person plays a part in the illusion. I think they got sucked into a narc fantasy and they do that because it feels safe, because it feels like, well, you'll never leave me. And they'll never leave them because they're the product. Because this person will stay in an abusive situation and be abused and give energy to cycles that should be closed down. And that's not intimacy. It's not relationships. It's not connection. And I think for a lot of you, you had to say, listen, I'm not going to be a part of it because I don't have that mess around me. And so if you're going to be around me, you're going to stand on your own 2 feet. I don't want to control you. I don't need your loyalty. Like, I don't need your blind loyalty. You can check me. It's totally fine. We can agree to disagree, but you can absolutely check me and that's an okay thing to do, you know? So yeah, I just feel like this person has gotten themselves stuck in some type of nasty cycle and it feels foreboding, this person wanting to come back into your life. And I do think Spirit's kind of heading this person off because I think it's kind of the gauntlet has been thrown where it's like this person is welcomed by the universe to break this cycle at any given time. And there is hope for this person. There is help for this person, but you've broken with this cycle. And so I don't think this crap is coming back into your life. And this person, I think, needs to pull on other avenues of like assistance, like maybe a therapist or something, you know, or like other community resources. I think this person is maybe in a situation where they don't know who to trust. They're with other people that are like them, is what I just heard. Like nice enough, but betrayers. And some of them are outright betrayers, but others of them are just weak, kind of like them. And so this person is kind of living out the problem with their approach. And they're learning, you know, this person is learning a lot, but I think they need to wrap up this cycle and come back to you at the height of their strength. That's the person that you want to see. And it's not because you won't support them at their lowest moments. It's just, that's been a part of the cycle between the two of you, where I feel like you're the supportive person and this person will throw you over to be with assholes and morons. And I think you're putting your foot down and you're saying, I will get the best of you or I will get nothing. Period. End of sentence. And that's you learning your worth and that's you learning your value. With this person in particular, you know, because I think that you probably do a lot of supporting with people who treat you well. And that's what this person is like, oh, I don't know how that you're going to respond. Well, I really think that I just gave them the Rosetta Stone. With people that you love and that are worthy of that love, people who respect you and don't throw you over for a bunch of dick faces, like you're pretty consistent and you're pretty reliable. And this person could call you in the middle of the night and you drop anything and you'd find them and then they would know how to get that stable, I know exactly that I can count on this person behavior. It's because of their own actions and their own associations that this person doesn't know how you're going to respond. And good. I just heard Spirit say good. That's this person learning. That's what they need in order to learn. They need to learn that people who are good and kind and nice, but also strong and who have a sense of self-respect are not going to tolerate this bullshit. And it is bullshit. Because I think this person can be very nice, but this is a horseshit. And they need to knock it off. And they also need to take responsibility for their part in the negative things that has come out of this family or this group or this cycle. They have fully participated and co-signed this kind of bullshit. And I do think that this person, there's been a lot of conversations, maybe about you, but I feel like it's just about other things where this person was meant to be a stabilizing force to say, you know, you shouldn't treat people that way, you know, actually, and encourage these people to do the right thing. You know, you should make amends. And I think this person has chosen not to in order to blend in because they're a codependent. And I think this person venerates codependency as some kind of relationship. And this is also a kind of person where it's like, they're like, yeah, we've been friends for 20 years. That is not a compliment. There are certain people in this world that the longer you're friends with them, it is a metric of your failure and your lack of self-respect and how much pain you have sat by while somebody has inflicted on other people. It's not a good thing that you have friendships that have lasted for a long time with people who are ass faces and abusers and who are an overall net fuckery to humanity. It's important that we're able to say, I'm not really comfortable with that. I'm going to go home early. I love you. There's a way that you can say that to your friends, right? I love you, but I'm not going to be a part of this because I'm not a part of people who ruin other people or who I'm not doing that. And by the way, that's how you earn respect. And I think that might also have eluded this person because they may have found themselves in a position where they don't have any power and they don't have any respect in this group because people just, and I think that's also a part, that's what this person's having to overcome. I have so much empathy for this because when I was younger, this was kind of the cycle that I could feel myself heading towards. But this person is just, there's a role that they're expected to play. And so people call upon them, like in their friend group, to just co-sign their bullshit. And to make them feel better about the nasty stuff that they've done or whatever, And it's not the same thing as like kind of being reliable. It's like, I'm calling you and you're not to have a genuine opinion about this. You're just to tell me that you're just to co-sign all my bullshit and just tell me that everything that I did is okay. And so they've built that kind of circle around themselves. And now they don't know how to get out of it because I think something here is like they're treated probably in a way that they don't appreciate, but they've not ever spoken up, or like there's something here that they're just a part of, and it's just really nasty and like really, and they could have found something out here, something that they were ignoring, something that maybe has already played out, and they feel like they kind of should have seen it. But anyways, and I think that you've always maybe been a light in the darkness, or this person is always like really happy whenever they see you, but if they're just going to puff on you like a cigarette instead of investing in your connection, instead of all these other connections, like, yeah, you can't have that. You can't have that. Even if you feel like this person is probably a soulmate, but they have to choose their soulmate path. They have to clear their karmas and align with their right and proper path, which could lead them to you, but it's up to them, and I think that you're done making up the difference. So yeah, this person is thinking about you a lot. They're wanting to come back. And I don't know how you're going to respond to that, or if this person is going to follow through with it. I think for a lot of you have decided to move on because things will be good for a while. And then you're waiting for the bag of dicks to show up. You're waiting for the bag of surprises to move. Just when you think things are going good and you think that, this person's really invested in you, you're waiting for the secret to be revealed that they actually were just using you whenever they were down. And as soon as they get high again, then they run off and they give the best of themselves to somebody else that you're going to have to then pick up the pieces later. So this person needs to take that right out with the trash, or you don't want it. I think that you're pretty firm on it. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys. If that resonates, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Bye.